Hey, this was a pretty awesome weekend. Did Tampa lose? You always gotta kill the vibe, man. Let's go!
Do you have a humiliation kit? This is all I ask you to do.
I'm having a great finger flick. You're allowed to show up.
This team is ruining my life. I'm taking crazy pills.
With you, wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Victory, Puppy Ziggy! The Leafs did to Carolina what we thought Montreal was going to do to the Leafs last night. And Pontus Holmberg scored on a goalie. Pretty cool. Only a few regular season games left. Might as well win them. Leafs win! 4-1 over the Carolina Hurricanes. Second half of a back-to-back with travel, less than 24 hours after their last game began. Whoever came up with that schedule, I'm not taking you off my Christmas card list. I'm just going to send you a card next year that says, I don't care for the job you're doing. But apparently, it doesn't matter. I mean, the Leafs won last night when they were playing against the Montreal Canadiens at home, and they did that with only 5 defensemen. They had 6 in this one. What a luxury! And they won even bigger. It was all very silly. Before we talk about all the goals, I just want to shout out Dakota Mermis for his first game as a Leaf. Now, some of you are going to be like, all right, this is, who cares, dude? When the Leafs signed him, I liked the signing. Steve, you had no idea who Dakota Mermis was. You're right. But I also didn't know who Simone Benoit was, and he turned out to be a pretty good signing. Like when Benoit signed, I was like, why would they be interested in this person? And then you look, and with Simone Benoit, oh, this guy was actually a very important part of a not very good team. Could he be a good part of a good team's depth? The answer for Benoit, mostly yeah. The difference is Mermis never got to show us. Last season with the Minnesota Wild, at age 30, Dakota Mermis played his first NHL season of more than 10 games. He's been trying to make the show the hard way. He's a free agent. Leafs sign him. Preseason, breaks his jaw, and he recovers and rehabilitates from that broken jaw. But at some point, the Leafs have to send him down, and to do that, they gotta waive him. They waive him, and for some reason, Utah's like, yeah, we'll take that guy. Pretty sure they were really short on defensemen at the time. They even played him in a game. Then after a short while, they were like, man, they just threw him back on waivers. The Leafs reclaimed him. He spent over 30 games with the Marlies down in the American Hockey League, and he finally got his opportunity in this game. A shot, 2 block shots, 2 hits. Craig Berube wasn't shy about playing him either. 15 plus minutes, 22 shifts in a road game on the second half of a back-to-back. Now, maybe you don't read all that much into it on account of the season is almost over. But I don't care. That is a cool story any way you slice it, and you never know how many defensemen you're going to need in a cup run. You know, I'm tired of feeling stupid when I say that. No, I am. Because more and more recently, people are like, Steve, what do you think the Leafs are going to do? And my earnestly, I think they're pretty good, man. Like, they're about to, hopefully, they're this close to locking up the Atlantic Division. They've already locked up home ice through the first round. But am I supposed to say they're bad? I don't think that, because they're not. Yeah, but the regular season, I know about the regular season, but they kind of look good. And I like the way they're playing. It seems more conducive to playoff success. I don't know. And if you're going to make it deep, then you're going to need extra D. Not everyone can be the LA Kings that one year. You're more likely to be the Penguins when they had Ron Hainsey on their top pair, or the Blackhawks when they were playing like 3 guys, or the Canucks when, well, they didn't win the cup, but they had 13 defensemen play in 1 Stanley Cup playoff run. Think about that for a second. Who's the Leafs' 13th defenseman? I'm asking earnestly. I don't know the answer. I'm going to Google it right now. They might not even have 13 defensemen under contract. Riley Tanev, Ekman Larson, Carlo McCabe, Hakanpää, Benoit Myers. We're up to 8. Then you're looking at Rafai, 9, I guess. Then you're looking at Mermis. You're looking at Rafai. So now I think you're up to 10. Matt Benning, who's been with the Marlies this season. Mikko Kokkonen, Cade Weber. There's nothing wrong with seeing what you have out of a bunch of guys, is all I'm saying. Anyway, hey, remember when the Leafs played the Montreal Canadiens and the Leafs outshot them into oblivion and we all thought the same thing? They're going to outshoot Montreal by like 25 shots and lose? Yeah, playing the role of the Montreal Canadiens this evening, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Playing the role of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Carolina Hurricanes. As the host team and everything. Just mwah. Late in the first period, the Leafs are holding on. It's 13-3 in the shot department, but Tyson Jost blocks a shot. He's in pain. Scott Morrow misplays the puck, and with a player down on the ice, Pontus Holmberg scores on a goalie! On Frederik Andersen. We know that goalie. His 7th of the season, and the Leafs take the lead with less than 20 seconds to go in the first period. And that right there is the ugliness of hockey. It's no one's fault. Jost was down. Play continues. Puck goes in. They're not going to dump it into the corner out of the kindness of their heart. You play to the whistle, and Holmberg did. Okay, so remember when the Leafs barely had any shots and they got the first goal? Okay, well, in the second period, it's about halfway through the game. The Leafs still barely have any shots, and they score the second goal as well. And it's actually kind of hot. Austin Matthews and Morgan Rielly with the give and go. How effective was that give and go? Here's Morgan Rielly passing the puck to... That's Austin Matthews at the edge of the screen. If you look really closely, there's his glove and stick poking out. Do the Hurricanes know where he is? The cameraman barely knows where he is. This is what it looked like at the other angle. That's a terrifying thing to see. Austin Matthews doing that. You don't want that. And he scored, as he is accustomed to doing. That's Matthews' 31st of the season, but he's missed time. Well, what pace is that, Steve? Glad you asked. He's on pace, if he were to be healthy this season, to score 39 goals, which is obviously 30 less than last season. But Matthews' season, you really got to grade on a curve. Forget the time he missed. I think the more significant reason for Matthews' numbers being down is the games he did not miss, the games where he was playing clearly hurt and could not score. The good news is his point total. He's on pace. If he were to play an 82-game season, he's scoring at a 94.6 point pace, so 94 or 95. That's down from the 107 last year, but it's still pretty good. Only 4 players have crossed the 100-point plateau so far. Marner is 1 point away. McDavid, hilariously, is 3 points away. Put it this way, Artemi Panarin is 10th in NHL scoring. He currently has 89 points. So what I'm saying is, even though Austin Matthews' goal totals are obviously way down compared to last year, he had 69 goals. His point rate in a season where he's missed time and played injured a lot of the time is still wildly elite. It's not Kucherov elite. That dude has 116, but it's still very, very good. And we, again, grade on a curve. We know why. Third period, right at the beginning of the third period, I love this goal. Mitch Marner goes off for a change. The Hurricanes try to get out of their own zone. Who's there? Max Domi. I've been calling this out in videos. Listen, he has not always been on my good list this season. Domi's defensive game and defensive stick, it's all over the ice, right? It can be in your own end in the neutral zone. The Leafs, a lot of these guys, Nylander's been doing it for years, are great defensively at the offensive blue line. Defense is not just shoving guys in front of your net. Domi stops them from getting up. Puck is scrummed. The Hurricanes are fighting for it, and they win it, and they try to throw it out again, and Tavares deflects it. It goes onto the stick of Simone Benoit. They still can't get out. Benoit to Domi. He's City TV everywhere. And if I'm Rod Brindamore, this might be involved in the video session tomorrow. What the heck? Max Domi with the most wide open shot in the universe, but maybe more surprising is William Nylander with no one anywhere near him. Domi is perfect Domi. Not even maximum. He is elevated above. He fires a shot that is actually a pass. Bellissimo. Nylander tips it, and I'm not saying that was a great play by Max Domi. But if William Nylander looked at me like that after I did anything, I would be floating for the rest of the week. Then the pretty much one hiccup in this game. Chris Tanev took 2 penalties in the same sequence. High tripping on Jordan Staal and... Did I say high tripping? High sticking on Jordan Staal and tripping against Eric Robinson. There we go. I combined high tripping. I could have combined the names and said he did it against Eric Staal, but I didn't. Sebastian Aho gets set up for the one-timer. Woll gets a piece of it. This was the best angle I could get of it. It's not very good, but Wool's glove bends back. He's got it. The only blemish in an otherwise spectacular game for Joseph Woll. The Hurricanes are on the board. You got to be careful now. There was a game earlier this season where the Leafs were running the Hurricanes out of the building, and the Hurricanes roared back. They almost tied the thing. But John Tavares saw to it that would not happen. Not tonight. With a laser beam of it. It was a knuckler. I don't know what happened, but it went in. All I know is I would pay good money to find out what Max Domi is saying to John Tavares and William Nylander right now. I assume it was something along the lines of, "Great shot, John." And that's it. The Hurricanes weren't able to catch up on home ice. The Leafs get 4 out of 4 points. The Lightning beat the gosh darn Sabres, but whatever. The Leafs keep the lead of the Atlantic. They need 1 more point, or They need Tampa to miss one more point, and the Leafs lock up the Atlantic Division. They've already locked up home ice in the first round. It's just a matter of, will the Leafs be playing the Senators or the Panthers? Two teams who they notably do not own in the regular season, but they are not going to be playing them in the regular season. Questions. With so many teams from Canada making the playoffs, do you think this is the year one of them will hoist the cup? Well, every year I cheer for a Canadian team to hoist the cup. It's just that it's only one of them. It's funny, oddly enough, even though a bunch of Canadian teams are going to make it, this isn't the greatest year. Like, okay, let's say Leafs play the Sens in the first round. You're guaranteed to get one of them through to the second, which is a good thing, but you're also guaranteed that one of them is going to get knocked off. Montreal is going to enter as the East's final seed, which is tough. Edmonton is the fourth season in a row against LA. They've beaten them 3 straight times, but they are looking vulnerable. And if they don't have Ekholm... And then there's Winnipeg, who are really, really good, obviously. Look at it this way. There's 16 teams in the Stanley Cup playoffs. 5 of them are going to be Canadian teams. It wouldn't even be that weird if a Canadian team won. Like, it's wild. It's wild that a Canadian team hasn't even lucked into one since 1993, especially with all the trips to the finals that there have been. There's something, I don't know if you smell that, there's something in the air. I think this is the year. Just don't ask me who. Oh, I know who I want. Don't worry, I know who I want. Did you go to the net? Yeah, so I played my first hockey game that actually counted today. Team Green against Team Yellow. We're real in depth. The history of Team Green. You gotta honor the crest. No, we lost. We lost, and I didn't really have the opportunity to go to the net. We didn't have the puck enough. I had a lot of fun, but I wanted to win. I had one opportunity where I had a guy with me. I think it was a 2-on-1, and I have this mantra in my head when I'm playing my adult learn to plays that I used to rush it all the time. I used to rush into a pass or rush into a shot. Don't rush. Take your time. Confidence. And I did that today. And someone took the puck right off me from behind. Oh, they back check now. Darn. Well, I'm gonna keep that in mind for next time. Our goalie stood on his head. He had to because I'm on his team. I was on his team. And we're not gonna talk about how much that's not a real stat anyway. No one cares about it anymore, right? But we had fun. And that's what matters most. I need to get better. My friends, for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Listen. You got to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to SDPN. This is going to be a big, big week for us. We're going to start shooting playoff previews. And I think we got some things to tell you too. I just don't know when. I'm not playing coy. I legitimately don't know. Which should be a surprise to no one.